Human Edge, Homeric Belt, Bateau Berlin Incorporated Operative Center. Bateau Berlin, esteemed silk trader, half smuggler, half businessman, well introduced into Hassassin politics, and allegedly a Hassassin Bahram undercover agent, walked toward Erin O'Neill's in a Middle Eastern smart casual attire to greet her. Lady Workhorn, welcome to my humble abode. It is a pleasant surprise to acknowledge your arrival in the Homeric Belt. I go wherever there are good stories and truth to be told, replied the Sixth Sense News reporter with a smile. I will be pleased to support you. We will be soon heading to the Averroes Hospital compound to run some business. I will be pleased to have you part of my entourage. The human sphere needs to know from independent sources what the situation is really like here, beyond all propaganda. Bateau had been informed Erin was closely watched by Aleph. Her comlog and cyberware most probably infested by malicious and spy software. This was the AI attempt to fool Hassassin or escalate the conflict. Either way, they were forcing the issue. This might even be related to what those people from ADEC Green Spaces were cooking. Definitely a good opportunity to learn something new. Acquiring information about the operation was proving more challenging than expected, and considering this was his primary task in the belt, his stakeholders were starting to be impatient. The Averroes complex was full with undercover Hassassin Bahram operatives, hidden or mixed to the civilian and technical personnel. A small official security detail escorted Bateau and Erin as they toured the complex. The distress of the Ariadnan workers was evident, as also evident was the armed presence of all hyperpowers. It clearly was the hospital of a war zone, not of an ammonia mining facility. Erin didn't even have the time to target her cyber optics toward the sudden threat, as a DA rifle shot put her down. Removing inconvenient pawns is always a good way to start an operation, thought Bateau. Then a metallic voice, a classic Uncle Pentium squirk, echoed in the Hassassin's comlogs. Security data extraction in progress. Do not resist or you will be prosecuted. Hello and welcome to a Tale of Miniatures and Dice Infinity Battle Report. This is a little special one, as it is our first battle report for Operation Edgelord. And we are sporting Hassassin Bahram versus Operation Subsection of the SSS. 300 points, engineering deck, which is a little variant of the ITS mission. But let me spend a few words on this Operation Edgelord. This is a long-running narrative campaign from the Bromad Academy blog, and you will get all the links in the description to the Discord server, to the website and everything. This is actually a nice format. They are proposing a long-run campaign, 1 game a month, play any faction, nice mechanism to create narratives, special missions, incentives, to do role play, to report your game. And I will not spoil all the story. You can go and read for yourself. But big shout out and kudos to Bromad Academy to bring this together and to the community. It's a great way to enjoy the game. And I think it deserves praise from all Infinity gamers out there. But let's go back to our game and let's have a look at the lists. So for Hassassin Bahram, we have a 5-man link. This one here, fairly standard. We have Azawira with AP Spitfire because it's just too good. Yara Dad for some MSP level 2 goodness, and in this case also strategic deployment. I think it makes sense. The mission requires to control the objective room, so and has also a mechanism to flip consoles, which requires entire orders. So you don't need to roll dice, but you need to spend entire orders, and so I mean order efficiency is also definitely important in this game. The Gulam NCO with a grenade launcher, a smoke grenade launcher, Gulam Doctor, and the Barid killer hacking device. Then we have MacMarrow, also good, you know, to clean the room and be a pain for the opponent, just as it does. Then we have an engineer. This specialist is mainly there to repair the Sundakbut, which is here in group 2, but it's also good to have a specialist a bit in your backlines. Have a Gulam Lieutenant. I think it's good also in this case for +1 command token, but other than that, just, you know, to stay safe. Fidai, because in this campaign I did not mention that there are secret objectives for each faction, and again I don't want to spoil anything here, but for the Haq Islam, in order to achieve their special objective, they need some infiltrators and or impersonators. So Fidai is a good pick in this case. And then I also wanted to bring the Ayar. He's also specialist and good in kind of close quarters combat, so I think it might be also good, you know, eventually to get in the room, and why not flip some consoles. To complete group 2, we have a couple of Dailami, just to play, you know, the Sandakbat decoy game there, and a Warcore, which is also here for narrative reasons. Here we have our beautiful Erin O'Neill's miniature, as it was part of our previous Operation Hungry Walrus campaign. Very good, let's move on to the Aleph list. Aleph list has some infiltrators. We have Andromeda, also good specialist, you know, infiltration specialist, infiltrated specialist. We have 2 proxies, MK2, MK5. The MK2 is not everybody likes it, but in this case, again, you know, kind of an advanced specialist that can also play mission. Actually, should play mission in the first place. Then we have a 3-man link with Trisha and 2 Dawons. Trisha is, I guess, in general considered pretty suboptimal, if not bad, but the OSS player wanted to try her out, so here she is. And then we have a 5-man link with these troopers, Danavas Hacker, 2 Dakinis, 1 paramedic, 1 multi-sniper rifle, the missile launcher bot, and the Diva as a lieutenant option. In group 2, we have a Satra, so Visor and Albedo. Probot, I think it's here mainly to buff the Dakini with multi-sniper rifle. A total reaction bot and an Edgelord for that sweet veteran order. So here we are, set up for our game. So let's go to deployment. So Aleph wins the initiative roll and decides to go first, and so it also deploys first. spending a command token to keep one additional trooper in reserve. So here we can see the deployment. The 5-man team is deployed here with the Dakini multi-sniper on the roof. All these guys are prone at the moment, just to prevent, multiple AROs from Dailamis, just in case, as he knows, is facing Akislam. Then the 3-man team goes here, a bit more in the middle. And then the Satra, close to the fight, the big fire team. Probot back here. The Netrod fails the combat jump roll and so has to deploy in contact with the table edge down here. And then we move to Akislam. Akislam deploys the big team here, leveraging on Yaradad's strategic deployment, so pretty advanced. In here we have the Azawira, and then the Gulams are prone here, out of line of sight, Yaradad peeking out, and the Barid also hidden behind there. McMarrow stays a bit in the back, in the middle, ready to storm the room. Then we have 2 Dailamis here, and I keep them within 8 inches from each other, just to eventually suggest they could be a Sandak boot with a decoy, even if probably they're a bit too far forward to match the forward deployment plus 8 inches. But anyways, this was a bit the idea. Here the rear Sandak boot goes here on ground floor, so it actually has line of sight into the room from here, and also facing a bit this fighting down here with its decoy on top of this catwalk. I think this is also pretending to be a Dailami eventually. The Warcore goes back here for some redundant ARO option. And the engineer, back here, actually the building here is not making contact with the table edge. It's actually possible to walk around here, and so I have easy access to an unconscious Sandak boot to shoot Gizmo Kit eventually. And the Gulam lieutenant goes prone here on this rooftop. The last drops for Aleph are Andromeda, that goes here, as you can see, and the proxy, they go here. This is the MK2, Camo State, and the MK5 here close to the console, ready to flip it. Last drop for Akislam is the Aya, that goes here, pretending to be Gulam, I think, and also close to the console, ready to eventually flip it. So here we go to turn 1. So Akislam spent a command token to remove 2 orders from group 1, and the first model to act is the Dakini multi-sniper that stands up, and the only ARO it gets is from the Warcore here. So all the camo token, they just give up on the ARO, but the Warcore flash pulses. So there is a first firefight, and the poor Warcore explodes, just becomes red mist. First order is this one. Then the Dakini continues, and first he successfully discovers this camo token, and it's a decoy. So next order tries to discover the other camo token, but it fails, so it cannot discover it any longer this turn. And so it's actually up to Andromeda to peek out from here, and at this point it's really close range, and so I reveal the Sandak boot and we shoot to each other. We debate actually a little bit if we are always within 8 inches or not, because this could stack an additional -3 for this Sandak boot, and it's viral rifle, +1 burst, but in the end, when we roll, the Thunderbolt rolls both a 4 and a 7, so it would have been a crit regardless. I think in the end we decided, you know, that there was a moment it was outside 8 inches. So the crit, the 7 is a crit, and Andromeda suffers a wound and goes to no wounding cap. So back to the Dakini multi-sniper again, and this time it puts the Thunderbolt down to unconscious level 2. So it took actually quite a few orders to clean this part, because of, you know, the war core, the decoy discovery, the failed discovery on the Thunderbolt, and then the Andromeda, and finally the successful face-to-face. So okay, but now the path is clean, and the Satra can move all the way through here and into the room. So actually, with the use of O12 Prestige as well, it is actually able to flip this central console. You actually have to nominate some special operatives. They only lieutenants, chain of command, or this specialist or special operative are actually able to flip the central console. And if you do it in turn 1, you get additional objective points. So it's kind of key to get into the room turn 1 and flip the console. So the Satra in group 2, using all orders plus O12 Prestige, is actually able to achieve this mission. So unfortunately there are no more orders in group 2, and so the TR bot stays prone. This maybe is a bit of a mix of a deployment mistake as well as maybe a potential missed opportunity to actually use a command token when, you know, going for this adventure with the Satra. At some point he could have actually stepped up the TR bot as well. Might have risked some AROs from the Dailami, but yeah, in the end it stayed prone. So with the last orders, the MK5 here, I forgot to mention that yeah, before, actually there is a FIDAI here. The FIDAI was deployed here. So the MK5 removes 1 level of impersonation from the FIDAI as it actually, you know, touches the console, and then but the FIDAI does not reveal, and then you know, flips the console. I think as the last order, this missile launcher bot also stands up. So at this point, both the Dakini multi-sniper and the missile bot are both standing now for the reactive turn. And this actually is the end of Aleph turn 1. So here we see the end of the turn, you know, the orders expanding on the Dakini, the Thunderbolt who revealed here unconscious now, Andromeda with a wound. I think she also flipped the console. This console here also was flipped by Andromeda, and yes, this is the situation. So Hassassin Bahram turn 1. So the first thing that happens are, of course, impetuous orders, and so McMurrock walks around here and tries to place smoke somewhere around here, but he fails. Unluckily, he fails, and so it is up to the Gulam NCO to cover the advance of the fire team. My special operative is my Hassassin, and so I need to get inside the room. So I managed to drop smoke here, so I can walk all my fire team down here without having to worry about any ARO from this side. And well, actually, as I walk past here, I cannot prevent from entering hacking zone or zone of control of this camo marker, which is the proxy MK2. So now, in hindsight, we realized that because Hassassin has stealth, she wouldn't have triggered any arrow, but we played in this way, and I think it was quite a cinematic moment, so kind of glad that we played this way. So the MK2 actually tries to Oblivion, so the reveals and try to Oblivion the Hassassin. And this would be a pretty, big problem for Hackislam if the Hassassin ended up isolated, as it would break the fire team and also make it very difficult to achieve this objective turn 1. But I elected not to reset and just to complete my movement here to end up out of zone of control and to tank it. And thanks to BTS9, I roll a 12 and I'm good, despite the AP Oblivion munition. So kind of right, because there shouldn't have been an arrow in the first place, but sometimes this is how Infinity works. Sometimes you're gonna get rules wrong, but was pretty cool anyways. So the next order, the Barid, who advanced together with the fire team, actually went in charge and with Trinity melted the brain of this proxy MK2. So remove the hacker, then the Hassassin can complete its work. So first picks from this room and shreds in pieces the Satra, then moves in, also kills Andromeda, flips the console, and then she also goes here and removes the missile bot as well. So quite a good run for the Hassassin, and then the fire team repositions a little bit in a bit more defensive position. So the Hassassin goes here, back this wall, then we have Yara here, and the Doctor I think goes here, and the grenade launcher Gulam here. The Barid actually was left behind, exiting the fire team, so he remained close to the console and flipped it. So he was able to flip this console for Hackislam. So good, now I have a few orders left and I try to maybe make life a bit difficult for my opponent. So the Fidai is already down to impersonation level 1, so I decide to trade in style. So I walk here, and then of course everybody idles, and then I place a shotgun template on the MK5 and a shotgun template on a Dawon and Trisha. Of course the Fidai goes to unconscious, and the MK5 dodges, Dawon dodges, but Trisha goes unconscious. So not too bad. I think I downed the specialist. She's also engineer, so I think it's a good. It's not a bad trade for the Fidai in this context. So then I decide to walk down also this with its own irregular order. Walk down the Dailami here. He also walks here. Nobody declares any arrow, and so it's just sitting there still in camo state. I did not mention that the Satra, which is here, actually was not killed, but is laying here unconscious. And it's important because I need it for my secret objective. Last order of the turn, the engineer actually walks around here and shoots a gizmo kit into the sandock boot that heals back. So we end the turn with the sandock boot back on its robot legs and ready for aero duty. Not a bad turn one. I think it was able also to flip the central console, and yeah, I am ready to withstand, you know, the Aleph assault. Here we can see sandock boot that went unconscious during the turn. So next, back to Aleph, turn 2. So again, the multi-sniper rifle puts unconscious the sandock boot again. And the priority target becomes actually Yara. Yara is standing here. She has a visor, and she's actually, you know, because the Azawira is here, maybe I should have swapped them. Probably I didn't have the order to make it. So the Azawira has pretty limited view, right? Because she can only see here, so not really. I mean, you could approach the room without triggering ARO, but Yara instead, you know, she actually sees here, and this is really annoying my opponent, and so he wants her dead. Point is that yeah, gets a bit fixed on that, and Yara is pretty lucky with her burst 2 marksman AP marksman rifle, and so the Kini multi-sniper as well as the total reaction bot are actually killed by Yara, so in ARO. So definitely an overperformance and some really lucky critical rolls there. So now he has a couple of rams down, and so he would need an engineer, but the engineer is also down because Trisha is down. So then it's back to the Dakini paramedic. Actually, the link did not break because I think that Tiva has number 2. There is a trooper with number 2 skill in this fire team. So anyway, the fire team is still in place, a 3-man fire team. And so the Dakini paramedic walks here and shoots his medikit into Trisha and fails. Like he rolls 18 and 20. So bad luck there. And yeah, orders are not too many, and the mission still needs to be accomplished, right? So and suddenly the OSS player actually remembers there is a Danavas with a hacking device plus and pictures. So, you know, white noise might have been a good countermeasure to, you know, just ignore or blind Yara there. So he gets really frustrated about the fact that he forgot about hacking device plus Danavas, and so he uses the Danavas to flip to flip the console and shoot 2 pictures in the room from here, I think. Maybe 1 picture here, 1 picture there, something like this, and then ends up here. Yeah, maybe a bit more advanced. Yeah. I mean, he is able to place 2 pitches there, roughly. And then isolates the Azawira. So the Azawira is now isolated. Luckily, she was able to flip the console already, but yeah, it will be tough for her to move or to really be a threat in the active turn. Okay, so Hassassin turn 2, situation's under control, still good amount of orders, and well, I just used her own irregular order to try to reset Yazawira, but she's immobilized instead because the Danavas actually casts Carbonite. So I don't know, that I could have waited for that, but I don't know, I did it just a bit on a whim there. So remember, the Andromeda is gone, the multi-sniper bot is gone, so there is not much opposition here. So McMurdo was already standing here close to the door, walks in and towards the Danavas. But fails to wound her. So anyway, I really eager to use the IR. So the IR reveals to connect the console. First has to move, then connects the console, and then walks here round and engages the Danavas, but suffers a wound. So then, okay, I said, okay, forget about it, and I just go in close combat with McMurdo, and I kill the Danavas. So I continue with the IR to move forward, and I also flip this console. On the other side, there is a Dailami who walked here, and with a couple of orders, his own irregular and another one that I flipped with a command token, is actually able to go here within zone of control of the unconscious Satra, and with a whip roll, successful whip roll, I accomplish my secret objective. And the Danavas also accomplished her own objective because she spotlight the IR as he was closing in toward her, and so both sides managed to successfully complete their secret objective for the mission. Last order for the turn was for the Barid to actually get into Cybermask state. Up here, was still close to the console, and then decided to go into Cybermask. So turn 3 for Aleph. There is not much or too much to do at this point. So the MK5 walks to this console. There is nobody looking at it really. Actually, when he arrives here, well, the Azawira is isolated and immobilized, so cannot do really much. The Gulam Doctor is prone here, and I think grenade launcher Gulam is looking the wrong way. So yeah, the MK5 kills Yara and flips this console here. I decide to keep the Barid in Cybermask state. And with the last orders, Aleph actually moves the Probot and managed to actually barely step into the room here. So to bring, this is baggage bot, so it is worth more points when it is about controlling and subjugating the room. Here we can see this was the core team with the Azawira, Yara and the Gulams when it started to move. This is the Fidai when it traded with putting two shotgun templates here and here, and then went unconscious after that. Now, this is the Azawira that's soon to be immobilized and isolated, and this is Yara. Yeah, this is the Satra laying unconscious in the room, and the Brave Dailami scoring the secret objective. And so we were saying Operation Subsection turn 3. No, actually Hassassin Bahram turn 3. So now the closest enemy for MacMurder is actually the probot in the room. So MacMurder goes back into the room and disassemble the probot with its DA plus AP close combat weapon. And the Barid is able to walk in impersonation state down here to connect the last console. So I try once more to actually fix the Azawira or reset, but I fail. I think I need to roll a 2, so I actually fail. And my engineer, which is still here, he doesn't have the orders to actually walk all the way and fix her. So in the end, my Hackislam trusted operative, although being alive, is not able to actually control the room. So the game ends 9-4 for the Hassassin Bahram. Actually 10-5 if we factor in the Edgelord campaign secret objectives. This is basically the game. It was, I think, a good fun game. The OSS player had a bit of unluck when dealing with Yara, or the other way around. Yara was extremely lucky with critical hits, and then he lost a bit his focus after that, and not remembering about the Danavas, Hacking Device Plus and Pitcher equipment that could have been pretty major asset if he had remembered it a couple of orders before. So all in all, not a bad game, with a bit less luck maybe on Hackislam's side. Might have been closer game, but yeah, for sure the Azawira performed extremely well as usual, but it was very good and efficient, and I think overall the list worked nicely. And yeah, the Sandok boot actually was really effective in slowing down the advance, having a lot of orders to be wasted or consumed to deal with it. So happy. In the first revision of the list, I actually wanted to also put a Bokhtar parachutist specialist, the NCO paramedic parachutist that could have walked in from the side, either here to connect the console, but would have been too many funny pieces, the IR, the Bokhtar, it's too much. And instead the standard put was really effective, kind of a resilient aero piece, really causing that friction for the opponent to be able to advance. So all in all, good game. We had a lot of fun. And this is the last shot, you know, with MacLeod in the room. We have just removed the probot that was here with a leg in the room. Yeah, I'm proxying MacLeod with Tariq. But yeah, I will get MacLeod for sure. The future is good looking model as well as very strong trooper. So definitely on the to buy list. So here we are at the end of our game. Human Edge, Homeric Belt, Aleph Deep Space Observation Station, Eye of Hipparchus. Buried down in the depth of the station, Uncle Pentium's cylindrical tank bubbled softly and rhythmically, like a lava pool. But its consciousness was elsewhere. Spread over the river of data coming from Maya, it had just stopped, closely following the extraction mission at Averroes Hospital campus. In the past handful of minutes, he had seen its troopers' parameters zeroing one after another. They knew we were coming, was its reasoning. He evaluated the mission's outcome. It was a clear defeat, but despite major losses, the OSSS had managed to access data from several consoles and to bypass the enemy's firewall, gathering essential intel and adding new backdoor accesses to its enemy's assets. But it's not enough, was the obvious, consequent thought. Operation Edgelord had started with the wrong foot. It had to acknowledge it. However, the erratic movements of the three planets invited Uncle Pentium to contemplate the inevitability of change. There was still a long way to go before it would consider itself defeated. Thank you for watching. Strong recommendation to join Operation Edgelord. 1 game per month, lots of narrative and roleplay nonsense on the Discord server, everywhere. Again, kudos to Bromad Academy, Wise Can Say, and all the team there, doing an amazing job, putting a lot of effort, new missions, a lot of super cool narratives and secret objectives for us to enjoy. So till the next game, have a good one.